we're so glad to have you on the maiden edition of this podcast. You know, we've known you for a while, for some days now. So we just want to know, before we start, can you just introduce yourself to us, and then let's have just a brief summary of how you guys met. How long have you been married?
Very brief.
Then how did you guys meet?
Okay, maybe we can go from.
Start first.
No, you start.
You start.
Okay. Okay, because you already know us, but for the sake of people watching from the other end, my name is Eniola Taiwo, and this is my wife, Ayokumi Taiwo, and we have a baby daughter together, Joanne. So we're Christians, believers, sold out for God. What other introduction? She is a chef. I'm a media person. I'm a content creator. Let's just leave it like that. So we've known each other. We've been married for a year and some months. That's
September.
Yeah, September.
But really, you guys look like you've been married for
Forever.
We've been friends since like
been
6 years
friends for
plus
like
before
6
we got
years.
married. So how we met, I was telling you behind that they brought her to our house now. She was supposed to come and do
Okay, so it's like family friends. Like my dad and his mom went to the same school. So I was supposed to resume in the hostel. But they said the hostel was not complete. That I should give them like a week. So I stayed in their house. So they liked me and they didn't allow me to go.
No.
So
Who liked you? When she was asking, I didn't like her.
Me now.
I didn't like you. I didn't like. We fought tooth and nail. We're cataracts like this, because I was like, which kind of church girl they bring come our house? That time, I was still, I was social director that time, so I was like, since girl just before me, we do only that time.
It's your sin that was chasing you.
Which sin that was chasing you?
That was your university days.
Yeah, that was
right?
university.
Yeah.
That was the university days. So I was my finals, I think.
Yes, you were in
So when she came and then, but after she left, I think, okay, right before she left, during that period, that was when we now became friends. Apparently, something happened at school, but we don't have to go into details, but I had to stay, but I couldn't go. I couldn't go to service with my set then, so it was like a trying time for me because me, I've always been I do my pa. So having that setback was just because of one issue that that was not an issue then, sha. So those periods were it was quite. Should we say depressing? Yes, it was depressing because I was like, see all this.
Was it really depressing?
Yes, no.
It wasn't.
When everybody was graduating in RCA, I was looking at CTC on doing and see these people. Me, I'm still here. I remember that I cried my eyes out in that toilet there.
Because of service.
Because that I'm not done clearance, and then I'm still here, and it felt like those moments that they would just come, those thoughts will come that your life is not going anywhere. You're just here. You're just in Nago. And then you're seeing people they're signing out. Do you understand? And then I was just like, I slept off that day. I don't know how I slept off, but it's God that brought that sleep. Because if that sleep did not come, I would have cried all day. So I slept off. So it was a trying time for me. So she was there. That's when we now started talking, being friends. So that's when we now started talking. So apparently all the while, she said that she had already liked me, but because I was a bad boy, she prayed to God
Really?
that God should remove these feelings from her. She told me that one later. Man. And she was giving me gospels like left and right. I even thought that she didn't like me. She's mean. She doesn't show. Actually, this person don't like me. God. But then that was how we met. So she left the house. Then I think I went for Saturday. Then she went to Shagam because she had to complete her studies. So that was how we now started. We couldn't even do anything because then she was an ESCO in RCF. So So we couldn't have any relationships. So like we can't even. I knew that I can't even like bring it up. So I waited till I think till when you left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when I now asked her, like, oh, can we, so.
Can we be friends? You mean?
Friends, you call. So that's where that's how it started. Babe, do you want to add anything?
No, nothing at all.
You see, I was saying the truth. She
like. No, not like I really liked you.
Oh,
it was
wow.
just surface like that.
Surface
it was
like
a mixture of
that you were praying against. That you needed to be praying against.
No, it was a mixture of who is this guy, who is this person, and then it was just no, you get it.
Fine boy,
I was going to ask, like, at what point, from all you've said now, like, she's not the one into you, but then you understand, like, okay, she likes you. So at what point did you realize that? Because people are watching, and then they don't know if this thing has grown from friendship to. So at what point did you know that, okay, this thing has grown into this thing, and then let's.
I'll say honestly, that time she was not my type. Basically, I love my wife; she's very big. But at that point, that I was still in the, social director. Have like an image of the kind of lady.
So social director, I want you to explain.
Okay, SUG, like Student Union Social Director. So I was, in charge of like our school then. So parties and all of that, clubs.
Yeah.
So
I can't be his type. You get.
So that was it. Maybe I would say I was blinded. Yeah, I said I was blinded because I had an image of probably because where I was coming from, and then I was just like, this one cannot be. There's no prospect, God. Like, what are you saying? Like, but I had this. I had this peace about her. Like, I know. Like, it's just like that. At that point, I knew she was the one. But everything in me was like, she can't be the one. This is not the person. Like, I was just looking at, what did I know then? I was just looking at the physical quality. I was like, like, this is known. But I still knew, like, down there, like, she was the person because, there's always this peace. And because we discussed scriptures then, we discussed, like, Bible, we studied together, then we talk and all of that. So it was like a moment of why God was transiting me into, like, coming deeper into Him. And she was there, to help with that. So, when the Bible says, like, your helpmate. So it was just clear. But then, my flesh, everything I knew was like, God. So later I had to pray that, God, you promised me that something will come out of this thing. I'm serious. Because it was so bad that when we go out, people will be saying, like, she's so fine, like, God. So you got to a point, I had to be praying that, God, please just open my eyes. That it's like there's something I'm blind to. Like, every time that I would go out, like, people compliment her, but me, I'm not seeing me. So, I started praying that, but then other things, like, I love everything about. So that, like, it was not that maybe other things just clicked. So, there were things that we had, because she was not really expressive. At that time, maybe where she was coming from, baggages and all of that. We had our baggages too.
Speak about your baggage.
So I have baggages too. But then, so it's not like maybe everything was like, but then, there's just this understanding and peace you have that you've never had before with anybody. And then, there's this spirit guiding you that, okay, this is the person. I couldn't kick against it. Even if, like, other things doesn't look like what I wanted. So that was when I started praying that, Lord, please open my eyes, like, help me to see. But then I feel also like, it took a while. It took a while, though, for me to, like, now start seeing that beauty from the outside. So also, I think, in retrospect, God helped me to begin to look at women, not from the outward. Only maybe God helped me to see the person inside first. Because that time, what I was coming with is just, tall, model shape, fair. That was my fairly this. That was my idol then. So now saying that and all of that, she used to use glasses. She used to talking, and every time she talks in, I'm just God.
Because I was in 100 level. Right?
What is this?
So it was between a final year person that has seen everything in life and a
Let's put it in
fresher
ritual.
for crying out loud.
Somebody's not be thinking that maybe I'm praying on a young girl. How old were you then?
No, but I can't remember but I was not young. I'm
You
just saying you had all the
No,
experience.
I'm saying that so that for people.
No, it's not
No,
child
let's say
abuse.
let's put it there.
It's not child abuse. What I meant is that he was more exposed. Like, he was in 400 level. You know the way it feels like you're in 100 level, you're a fresher, like a lot of things. I'm just coming from their house and all that. So I didn't really have all the experience. And mind you, I was a very beautiful girl. I don't know what he's talking about. But then I think it was more from the place of, you've seen a lot of things, you go out, you've met people and all that. So like
Those things that formed an
he had
image in
formed
your
an
mind.
image in
already.
his mind. Okay, this is the kind of person he wanted. But then, I was pretty. I was
You're pretty. I know you're pretty. I was just blind. Thank God for helping me. They helped my life. Imagine. But I lost that ticket.
Okay, I wanted to say that how long did you guys date? Like, how long did you stay before getting married?
Before getting married.
Okay, I think it was up to 6 years or 7 years. But I don't really advise that for people. I think it was just the circumstance. It was where we were at that point. Like, so I don't think anybody should do that long. I don't know. I don't advise it.
I think because if you met at school, definitely you might not really get married immediately you guys leave school. So there's a way you can culture the relationship, as long as you guys are both following God. Just that's like an exception. It's not like a rule to everybody.
Yes,
but then if probably maybe you meet like outside school, that probably maybe in 1 or 2 years you are ready. I don't think there should be that long courtship, because also it breeds room for like other things. Because at the point, we start feeling so like sexually attracted to each other, sexually attracted to each other, and it was a war. It was something that we had to. It was, even from my hand, that I'm from, the way I'm coming from. Do you understand? Now coming to that place that you have to wait long, and this person, Jesus Christ, give you hot. If you just do anyhow, hot. so that would what I think that's what she's trying to say. Like having long courtship where that you guys are not. There's nothing like. But then from school, definitely, I feel like even the best place to really get into a relationship, if God helps you, is from that time, because you guys, you can be friends, and then you can, it's not like it's a caveat, but then I feel like it helps, because as you said we look like we've been married for long, and that's how we look to, like people say it in our church, but then it's because of that relationship we built over time. So
that's there's a question here that you just mentioned now, and I'll just use the opportunity to ask. That period of courtship, you mentioned something, just so that people are guided. There will be people out there that I'm very sure are already seeing somebody in school, most likely, but are worried that, okay, if I come into this relationship, are you sure we're not going to start doing things that we're not supposed to do? So how are they able to stay in that place of just being friends from that at that period, just so that they are not exposed to unnecessary sexual intimacies that they shouldn't be involved in at that time? So how are you guys able to manage that period without being sexual? Let me say it in full, the way I wrote it here. I said, how were you guys able to stay away from having premarital sex during your courtship? And then were there times you almost did or almost engaged in other sexual acts? How would you advise people in a relationship? Because we struggled. It was a struggle, more so because we used to see almost every day. That period. So it was a serious struggle, and we were in a relationship for close to 7 years.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Before you guys
Before us.
started. So it was a struggle.
you
Yes,
guys
we got
got
married
married.
a year before you guys. It was a struggle. So and I know that, you guys also had that struggle. So can you just share with us, how were you able to, what measures did you put in place to help you?
Okay, so like me, I said personally, if I don't think anybody should stay that long in a relationship, actually, because it's better to be friends. Like, because I don't know, maybe from my own personal opinion, because it's true, those things are real. How do you navigate your sexual urges? Because they will be there. And the thing is that is now that you know that you are married, that sex has become a commandment. All the things you want to do then, now, it has now become work. Then it was like your blood was hot. So I think one of the measures to really take is like maybe coming to a togetherness of saying, okay, this is it and we're not going to do it. And then maybe try as much as possible to avoid places that will put you in that position, and then be accountable. I think so. Being accountable is very important. If there's somebody you are submitting your relationship to, I think, from their direction can come. Like they can call you people to order and even talk to, because there's something about we young people and hot blood, or like going with the way you think things should be done. But there are older people that have gone ahead of us that know the way things work, or they know the way things should be done. So I think
my wife is talking from where she is now. Then where we were, we're not like really strong as we are now. Just from fellowship, So I know one underlying thing that kept us was like, we knew that if we had sex, it was more like we're destroying the foundation of the relationship. Like that was one. And also we knew that that's just the start. So that's like a spiral down. Then also, me, I was not a virgin. I can't even count the number of women like I've had sex with.
In the same group.
So, coming from that background and then meeting her. So, but also, God had really worked on me for a while too, because I knew that, I've come to that understanding and all of that, because it took a while now, like almost a year, then in Grace House. So that was when, God rekindled my heart, and then, I was really, sold out to what God was doing then. So with her, so it was more like a tension, for me, like, and then something also helped her innocence. Because there are some kind of I'll play with someone that is not innocent, that I know that they're going to receive it in a certain kind of way. But then with her, she's not doing. So over time, that helped me to start keeping my feelings in check. I think the struggle was more like, it was more from, and then, the thought that, you could go back to something. You already know that. And then again, because I know she's strict, I resolve. That's why I was saying that she will just give you, your head will correct straight. So that was a fear on my hand, because I didn't want to get on that. I don't want to lose her trust. Thinking that maybe peradventure we're in a place together, she won't be able to So also, I didn't want to betray her trust, that also. So then the thoughts would become like, maybe you can just, go back to, because you know that you can't do this thing. So, that thought that you just keep, but, having God too, that time, God was dealing with me, and knowing that keeping your body, is a commandment. Then keeping your body so that, you can have more fellowship with the Holy Spirit and have more. So that was going on too. So sometimes, we've kissed before.
Yeah.
We've kissed before. When we kiss, we don't God. What do you do? From me, I'm coming from a place that I just babe, don't worry. But babe, she can cry. Phoebe just kiss. She was saying, no, we cry, we don't run. Jesus. She will say, we've done kidding. I'll say, babe, no, like, she will be like, so that too helped. Because I saw the way she was broken when just that small thing happened. And so it was always, you know, when you are seeing somebody righteous, and then, so there's a way it just exposes your own darkness, and you just feel like you need to arrange yourself, level up, like, you know, do all those things. So it was sometimes when I'm trying to play, you know, you'll be playing some kind of play, but then there's the kind of pleasure you are getting from that play. The other person might not know, but most times she doesn't know. Do you understand? Like, but then there's a kind of pleasure, like, until, like, you know, just have to, like, a nudging, because it was difficult for me. It was difficult. Sometimes I wouldn't even want to, like, probably maybe when we were at home, like, maybe play. Sometimes I wouldn't even want to play beside kind of, because I know, if I play now, all my body will start, and then I'm going to, I know there's no show here. There's no show here. So it was, you know, that thought. So that was why she was saying that, you know, dating for long, because we really had to go through that. And also it was difficult because we already got close to each other. We know each other. So that familiarity too was there. So it just feels like, you know, when you've been together for long, and when you just feel like we can't. But then I would say that, you know, God really used her to anchor that part, because she was like the gate that was really holding that fort.
For us as young people then that were in school, the relationship was more about the struggle of, okay, let's keep ourselves, okay, we're going to get married like this time and all that, you know. But when we submitted the relationship, and, you know, submitting also, you know, to people that are really spiritual, you know, people that know God, because, you know, you can submit to the wrong person and your life will take a wrong turn. So, like, submitting to them gave us this, it gave our relationship a new definition, it gave it a new structure. You know, we're able to see things from the past. You know, when I look back, I was like, okay, so God really kept this person for me. Okay, we saw the orchestration of God, the way we met, like the arrangement. No, like no man could have thought it up.
It was like when Adam, they formed Adam, God brought Eve. So I call for help. God don't look at me and say, let me just help this boy. This boy, he will self-destruct himself. Honestly, that was how it was.
You know, when you guys were talking about accountability, and I was like, I think that was something that we missed. That was something, that part, we missed that part. And there was something I picked from your journey. I even at that time that you felt like probably you were not, you know, you mentioned that she was picking from now. You understand? Even at that time, I feel like there was a level of consecration, you know, from do you understand? And that really helped. And that really helped the relationship, because you also at the point where you already know, okay, this girl is this girl, and you were not forcing it. You understand? Like, even so, you were listening.
Let me add something to what you said. Like, you know, I was saying that the way she does when maybe we just kissed, the way she breaks down, like, maybe like you have offended the Lord, you have broken the Lord's heart. You know, that I don't want to see her in that state.
Exactly. That's it. Exactly. That's one of the things that really, you know, helped you guys to stay with. And I really love all you said in this to this question and all. You know, this part.
So, sorry, before you move on, so I wanted to hammer on this accountability, people being accountable. So if you are in a relationship, please be accountable. Have spiritual, because she mentioned, and then not just any kind of person, not just any kind of. I believe you guys were directed to that person. I believe, you know, yes, because you can feel like, okay, this person is spiritual.
Married, spiritual.
Married.
Person.
Thank you. You can feel like this person is spiritual, so we can be accountable, but that might not be the right person that you are supposed to be accountable to. So it's good that you guys pray for guidance on. You know,
because at that time too, they did not even question whether You don't even question whether, oh, you know, like when you mean like, are you sure this person is there? They are like they just
They could
tell. They just knew that this like they could. So even that, we check out gone. Kasai comforts me. Okay, sorry that what I'm trying to say. Like we quickly arrange ourselves. That okay, there's something more. So we saw more than ourselves.
The one very sure way of guiding yourself in a relationship, if you know you really want to, abstain from premarital sex, and you want to really follow the will of God in that relationship, then you need that accountability.
Another thing is that accountability is not even only for premarital sex. That's just an aspect.
Because
And I even think accountability is only if we open our eyes. God places people in our life at different seasons. You might be accountable to somebody for a season, and then the season passes, and the Lord brings another person. So because I'm just trying to imagine, some people are in school. They don't have the opportunity to have married folks that they can submit to. You know, God can raise anybody. It could just be somebody elderly, yes. It could just be somebody that you knew that you could talk to, then that could help. So I feel like if we actually really look, there's always someone to be accountable to. But I think what happens with accountability again in relationship is because you don't want to expose yourself.
Yeah.
So you feel like you don't want somebody to know too much about you. You don't want people to know your shenanigans, or you just don't want to reveal some part of you, like, or you feel like our relationship is private. But me, I feel like it's where something is private. That's where devil, that's where it will sit, because there's nobody looking at it. So you can, a lot of things can pass, like in that place.
There's a thought that is coming to mind, and that was what we were talking about, like a relationship. I don't think that I would advise that you get into a relationship like anything from 300, like 100 to 300, because don't start. How did the Bible say that? Don't kindle.
I've forgotten.
There's a way to say it, but don't start like what you can't, sustain at that point.
It's better friendship.
It's better like you be friends. Then okay, we are final year. Like you can now start like, okay, let's start. At least building something. Then you know that okay, now we can feasibly plan for something. Do you understand, with the Lord? But that long time, because you'll be seeing each other, it's like people are not stone. No matter how, like you are still flesh. Emotions run through, and this is someone you care about. You want to do everything for. So to just help with that, you guys just be friends. Do you understand? And then being even as we call it relationship, most of the things we do is friendship. It's just, maybe calling relationship just allow other things to just, we were just friends, actually. What were we saying? We were just friends. So I think it should be like that. Then probably maybe after further level, you can now start, oh, this is it, this is this is it. Because also maturity too. So comes into play. Because when you get to that point, you guys would have known each other, as friendship. There will not be like, people that have started relationships in 100 level, they got to 400 level. Well, now because then people, you hear about people being in a relationship and they went to go and cook. They're cooking for they're already doing. So those kind of things, you can prevent it. Prevent that, so that you won't be burnt in a way that, because you don't know people. You might say you know some, but definitely you don't know people. It's the Lord that still keeps people. So I'll say you should wait till that point that you people can feasibly plan for the relationship. So I just wanted to add that.
Now, we want to, this part, I've been getting some engagement from people and they're about to get married, and then I was going to add, like, okay, during the process of planning for you guys getting married and all, were there, issues or things from parents-in-law, from both ends, like, that didn't really sit well with you guys, and how did you manage, if there's any, how did you manage, such?
Okay, I think we enjoyed in that aspect. We had amazing parents.
Actually.
Like, so there was no much of tug of war and all that. The only thing I made sure I did then was we came together and told ourselves that we're young people that were just starting out our life. Like, we don't want whatever money we have now, it's better we put it together and use it to do something for ourselves. Because I felt like wedding is just a one-day event. It's the marriage, like, that you people really have, like, to look out for. So I felt like spending all your money on all those things, like, we didn't even really have the money then.
Yeah.
So we had parents that believed that it's parents that do wedding for children. So they were ready to spend their money and like all that. So I spoke to my mom and established that, okay, if we are to do our wedding, this is the number of people we can cater for, like 100, and we're feeding them, and we don't want a loud wedding, and we don't want this. But then there was, oh, my first daughter, I want this. Oh, fine, like you can.
Firstborn.
And he was the firstborn. I was the first daughter. Like, you can do all the paparazzi that you want. Like, we're down for it. Like, and then I felt like wedding for them, it was. Yeah, okay, let me say the wedding was more for our parents. I just felt somewhere maybe the marriage was for us, because I liked it because it was celebration for them also.
Yes.
Like, it's every parent's joy to give their
also,
children.
I think peculiar to us, to where we're coming from. My mom, like, she's a single parent, you know, her mom too, like, you know, so, you know, that kind of, you know, celebration that, oh, I did it. You know, and it was more like that. Like me, especially even for me, that you know, my mom was always like, I give my mom trouble. And then, you know, seeing that our son, like, was able to, like, you know, get to that place that, okay, now I can hands off. You understand? So I think it was more of a celebration to them, and also, like, there was not really, as she said, there was nothing like, you know, oh, okay. The only thing that my mom raised the first about was my dread. I had dread then. That she was like, no, she didn't want the dread. My dad's family are coming, you know, because, you know, from where she was coming. She wanted to show them that, see the son she raised. And then, you know, it was quite of a tussle. Like, I was like, oh, no, but wisdom would. My wife was like, my wife that was, women, my wife that was like supporting me at the beginning, baby, you don't have to cut it, don't worry, mommy will do. Because when it got to a point, it was my wife that was saying, hey, baby, don't you think that you should just cut this thing down after, you know, because actually it was nothing. It's hair. It's going to grow back. I can always grow it back. And this is, I've grown it back. And she even, like, she doesn't even care again. But at that point, I feel like maybe it was, you know, devil can come in certain shades. And then, you know, also, you know, parents do believe that your wife should be able to talk to you. Like, and if they will be thinking that, oh, maybe she's, so I think also, you know, that helps also, because my mom knows that I don't budge. Like, I'm quite with her, like, so I'm sure she would have known that, oh, maybe because of so that episode, it was just that episode, and that was just introduction. So, you know, even when, you know, we said we didn't really want to, it's not like we said we wanted to marry. It was more like the people were submitting to, like, it's time that we should step out in faith, and, you know, so honestly, the wedding, all the money, we didn't run into debt.
No.
We never took them. We were like, we're going to do like a small wedding. But then when they said that they are going to, we're like, okay, you shoulder it and all of that. So they took it up, and so that was how, like, it was so easy and smooth.
Another thing, when it comes to wedding, like, let everybody handle their family. For example,
yes.
I handle my side of the family.
Yeah.
Let your husband handle his parents. Don't put yourself, like, in situations that you're not supposed to put yourself. For example, there were things I needed to address.
Yeah.
I addressed it. I didn't bring him in because I know how to handle my mom. He knows how to handle his mom. So wife. I didn't put anybody in the place of having issues, because those are the things that causes issue. For example, you want something to happen. It's not me that I'll not tell my husband to go and tell my mom that this is the way. You are giving, even if he's right, what you are saying is right. I feel like you are giving Yes. So unnecessary, yes,
Yeah, it's
conflict.
unnecessary conflict.
Just relate with your family.
Yes.
This is it. This is the way we are doing it.
Yes.
If you are stamping your feet on it, this is the way we
Yes.
are doing it. If he has to talk to his mom, stamp your feet. This is the way. And so that I'm not exposing him and he's not exposing me.
The most important thing is that both of you are on the same page.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So both of you must have one voice.
Yeah.
What would you even say communication is in relationship? And then how do you manage your conflict, disagreements? Because of course we're coming from two entirely different backgrounds. Because as funny as it looks, this little thing has blown out into proportions that it shouldn't even blow out into. So how do you manage such situations?
I don't think it's right that your wife is communicating to you or your husband is talking to you and then you are pressing phone, because it might not be a big deal for them. Funny enough, they say that they are multitasking, they can hear you, and if it comes to other things, they don't know how to multitask. But when it comes to that phone, they feel like they can multitask. So I don't think it's not right. And then but then the fact that it's not right also, I think even we as wives should tread with caution also, maybe on the way you address it. I'm not saying I'm perfect. There are times that my husband does it. At times, what I do most of the time is to stay on his neck. That people, I'm talking to you. I don't think you should be pressing your phone. And then it's like, okay, oh yeah, that I'm listening to you. Or at times he says sorry. Or even at times he might be doing something that is actually important, that he needs to finish at that time. So the part of me too, I'm being patient. Okay, I'm doing something, I want to finish. There are times maybe I get angry and I'm talking to you, and it's like he's sorry that he was trying to attend to something, and sometimes it's not that he's attending to something else, he's just watching a reel, and I'm like, but this thing you are watching, you can go back to it, but you should listen to me first. So I think the balance is we just keep shifting ground for each other, but I don't think it's a good thing, because you should spend time together talking, or even if let's not even go to spending time to talking together. It's not nice for me to be talking to you and then you are doing other stuff, things you can do later that don't really carry importance. I know there's a way that if you attend to someone, you give them that level of importance. Like, I'm your wife, okay, I'm doing something, I can stop it to attend to you. So I think it should be something to it might not be of importance to you, to him, but it's of importance to me. It's making me know that you are choosing me over something. It's not like I'm comparing myself to phone, obviously, not that. But then you are putting me first, you are choosing me, you're making me know that I'm important to you. I can pause what I'm doing, to attend to you. So I don't think it's a good thing. But then is common, so I think it's just talking about it, communicating. People, I was talking to you, okay, I'm sorry, I was doing this. Okay, you should have stopped. So that's just the balance, so that as small as it is, it can be a big deal. So people can fight over it. I'm always talking to you, and there was a time it was a problem, but I think it has reduced now. So because I talked over it, so we were able to see that. Because I know there's something for men. I tell my husband that don't invalidate my feeling. It might not be something. You may be like, Shebe, you just called me and I said I'm coming. To you is different. We're wired differently. I'm a woman. When I call you, I want you to respond. I want to know that I'm priority to you. So for me, it's part of invalidating my feeling. Show me. Do you get? So as minor as it is, you shouldn't be the one telling me that this thing is minor. It might be minor to you, but it's not minor to me. So you should be able to take note of. It's part of loving somebody to be able to shift ground, and adjust for them.
I love what you ended with. If you love someone, you'll be ready to shift ground. Honestly, it settles the matter of how we communicate and how we handle each other in differences. Yes, so I like that.
I don't know if you want to say anything as regards to how you handle
we
differences.
We have accepted differences.
We've of course you have to accept. How do you manage it? Because I know, of course, there will be
I think are
Okay, how
different.
we
Manage
manage
our
Manage
conflict.
conflict,
Oh,
disagreement, when you don't agree on a particular thing.
I think, although I'll be honest here, I used to feel like, I used to believe that women always believe that they can never be wrong, or they're always right. In the sense that, like, maybe when it comes to some things that I know that, babe, you mess up, you want to mess up. It's you that did wrong. And then, you are trying to, like, talk about it. And, there's a way she, I don't know, it's like she hides, or I don't know how she does it. Like, she just, if it was me, that I know, oh, I did something, I'm quick. Okay, I think maybe that's more of a personality. I'm quick to, babe, sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Actually. But when it comes to her, like, it feels like maybe I need to extend more grace, or maybe I'm expecting it quicker than, like, the way I used to. But then I know that she's not. Not that I know that. It's now that I know that she's not like that. But before, I used to be like you do so, you should apologize. It will not be like you're going up and down, like, babe. So I think our own kind of apology is more like just meander, babe, communicate through feelings or action.
oh, I say sorry now.
And you say sorry. I'm saying then. I'm not saying no. Say sorry now.
Because it's not a good thing.
I'm saying that, like,
Actually.
where we're coming from. So it's more like, so you'd be like, but most of the time it's me that offends. So it's not like you do that. it's plenty, like. So it's just those time that it happens that you be like, hey, don't run. You say, apologize. You apologize. So I think that's why he holds weight, because you feel like, hey, this time around. But then I think it was more like maybe I didn't know a person, like, and how she communicates. So, and maybe she too, she didn't really know maybe how I receive. Because sometimes she will have an apology. I'll say, you don't mean that. That's not your sorry. You don't apologize. You don't mean that sorry. I don't believe you mean that sorry. There's the way she says it. And she'll be like, she's true. Like, I said, no. Because it felt like I'm working for the apology, those times. So, but then, communicating. But then when it started, it's not like maybe it's one straight, you have those misunderstandings. But then we have one communication that we don't want her misunderstand. We don't take it like tonight, next day. Like, next day, that night itself, like, we need to, like, settle, like. So, having that in mind, so over time, we got to the point that if she does, like, we'll communicate. Like, our misunderstandings are way better now. Yeah. Way better now. Before, there's one part that I used to do where we have, even if she's the one that wronged me, immediately I raise my voice like this, I'm already I've already, you should not be looking at misunderstanding like me, but I know that this one is a lost cause. It's a lost case. Immediately, like you say, people, you are raising your voice. I already do that. God. So, because those are part of our conflict. Because the kind of person, I don't even believe maybe any lady likes to be shouted at. Like, or probably, it's not even only shouting, your tone.
For me, when it comes to that tone, probably because me, I'm softly spoken. I don't want, and then I had this mentality that when we have issues, let it be between us. Don't let the third party hear that, because I feel like when we settle our fights, they will be the one hearing. These people always fight, always shouting on themselves. I don't want that.
I don't care.
It is like you don't care. He doesn't care. But I don't want that perception. So I think conflict resolution gets better over time. We're not where we used to be, like in the beginning. We've grown. And I know what has really helped us is, I would say, is like fellowship with the Lord. Let me just put it that way. Because, the Lord is like a kind of man that you look to. Like, he's showing you reflection of the kind of, it's showing me the reflection of the kind of woman I should be. It's giving a reflection of the kind of man I should be. Because if not that, you would have your own righteousness. You have the way, this is it. If you do this, this is the way I want it. Meanwhile, it's not supposed to be like that. So that has helped us over time, knowing that, okay, I have to shift my ground. I can't hold on to, okay, he mentioned something about, I had issues with saying sorry. And then if I traced it, it was part of upbringing. You know, you are just twisted somewhere. You know, there's a way you can be manipulative. If I want to get the story from you, I will make sure you give me. But when it comes to my own, it's what you did that made me do like this. It's because you did this that made me do like this. So I thought that it was a big deal. So like over time, because of, and then another thing that helped me is that I saw that love is a commandment. It's not in feeling alone. You know, before we got married, like, I don't know, people, like, if you have been in courtship, you're in relationship, it's a different ball game when you get married. Because you already have what you've been looking for. So you are seeing that thing full color. Like, you are knowing that person. I can't say the man I married now is the man that he used to be. He has changed. Like, I've gotten to know his person more. Like, I know who he really is, and I'm still even knowing who he is. So for me, love is a commandment. It's not, if you base love on feelings or emotion or this, you would have problem. Because there are times that you go against yourself to do the will of God because you want to keep peace in your home. There are times you go against, this is the way I feel it should be, because you want to. Of recent, like, I've always had this feeling of, because you know when you have conflict, you are just calling for the devil. Actually, and then you have children also. You are exposing your. You know, that's always the thing that is standing out in my head. Actually, you see this. You know that this devil is a wicked man. He's just looking for avenue.
Honestly.
And then when you now even have conflict, that. I don't know if it happens to people, that pain. I don't want to go through that circle of pain. Like, you are sad, it's sad, I'm angry. Yes, the atmosphere is just tense. You like, over time, I've gotten better. I don't want that kind of foul atmosphere around me. So it helps me to take the commandment of, okay, like, this is, love is not just I do, or it's not just that I love you, it's in your responses. What's the Lord's standard to this? When my husband, even when my husband raised his voice at me or he's wrong, what's my response? At times, there's always a battle in my mind. I know the way of the Lord, but me too, I want to show him that. Is it because I've been quiet all this day? Because I'm allowing the Lord to use me? But then something is not something. The Holy Spirit is telling me, do you now want to mess up because of this whole thing? So the whole thing will just crumble. Okay, so is it the negative I want to do or the positive line? And it's a lie. All those, is it because this is a lie? It's not even like you are there, but because you want to feel like, because I've been doing this, you want to do your rights. So it's self. It's not really about your rights. If everybody was to live by the manual of this is right and this is good, we will not have a good world. Like, you will not have a good marriage. So that's why there's a standard for us. This is what is my response as a woman even when my husband is wrong? What is my response even when I feel like I'm cheated? How do I react to this? You know, allowing the Holy Spirit, allowing the Lord at every time. It might be painful at times, but at the end, I don't know if people I feel good when I do righteousness. When I do what is right, like, I feel good that, there's that strength, that there's even fresh wine for you. You're able to know that, okay, I did the right thing, and then, so.
And let me just add this before another thing I want to add is that, like, when we have those thoughts, we think it's our thoughts, but then, like, they are mostly suggestions from the devil, not like maybe from outside, like maybe one demon came to whisper, but it's just like there's a work within you. There's a way you've been made up over time. And if you are following the Lord needs to tear that building down and start building another kind of man. But then the old man that you have, starts, like, this is how you, for example, we had a recent misunderstanding that, it was like, those thoughts were coming like, my own password for job. I can't remember the last time I did that. Like, you not talk with her, like, you just leave her, let her know that. Honestly, those thoughts were like, I was like, this one, I will do it. At least this one, I will not talk to her. I will not, like, let's see how everything will go in this house. And I was like, I can be hot. I can be hot. Sure, you understand? Like, no, I'm funny hot. I was working at my desk. I was say, like, I'll be working. I'll say, I'll not talk. These people, why do you want to be a wicked person? Like, why do you want to tread this path? like my heart self cannot take the kind of decision I'm taking. Like that's why you say like I'm not the person I used to like I'm just there. I'm like, like there's no peace in it. There's no love in it, And then the part that I said, like, you're opening your atmosphere. Like, I'm beginning to, like, be more aware spiritually because also, like, the devil does not like you. You are following the Lord. And then we'll find everything to accuse you. So that thing always comes back, like, the Holy Spirit kept coming, like, do you want to be a wicked person? Because there's a way the Lord has, the tenders, as he said, fellowshipping with the Lord. There's a way it softens your heart. It tenders your heart. Because God is love. So you now begin, but all those other commands, all those other thoughts, they want to harden you. Like, imagine, like, you don't want to talk with your wife or, like, that's wickedness. That's not of God. Do you understand? But then we don't see it that way because at that point, like, the flesh, everything is already, like, your pride, your, as you said, self has blinded you. You just want to, like, please that man. And then, but at the end of the day, you just, like, it's rubbish.
And at the end of it, just what she said, I like the way she emphasized on whenever she wants to, go against the Holy Spirit. Emphasizing on the Holy Spirit is very important. And honestly, the place of the Holy Spirit, you can't emphasize.
I mean, there's no marriage without the Holy Spirit. Because who is the author of marriage? The marriage didn't originate from any man. Marriage originated from the law, from God. It's not when he made Adam and Eve, then it was one that now put. So marriage is an old, long institution. Yeah. So how do you want to run an institution without the manual of the person that has it? Yeah. So my advice is love the Lord. There's nobody that can have our life sorted more than the Lord can. He sees our future, he knows our past. And then, you don't have the manual of your life. Yeah. It's the person that created you that has the manual of your life. So I feel just stay on loving on the Lord. And then whatever you are going through, there's a wisdom to handle it. The Lord has the wisdom, to take care of, wherever face, like my husband said something like, the Lord calibrates our life in season. He has the answer, to whatever season you are, and then be open to the Lord. It's another thing to love the Lord, another thing to be open to the Lord, be open to Him, and nobody can organize your life more than He can.
I think what I would say is that if you're not married yet, please don't miss it, because your partner determines determines a lot. It's something that if you need to wait, you need to wait on it. And also wait on it, be accountable also as you go through that process. But if you are married and you're a couple, and then, don't listen to the noise that is going on all around. There are godly marriages. There are marriages that God is helping to build them. And, there are people that God is using. So please, if probably you're feeling alone, reach out to, a community that, you can trust. Reach out to, but don't just keep yourself, to that, place that, this is what it is, this is what it is. And, inquire with the Lord to always help you. When it comes to money, my brother, your money is our money.
Thank you so much for watching. We believe you've been blessed. Please do well to follow us on our social media platforms. We're on Instagram at awontiOtife, on YouTube at awontiOtife. It will be shown on your screen. We look forward to having more of these sessions by God's grace. And then we want you to, if you have questions or anything you want to talk about, you want us to talk about as regards the issue of marriage and, areas are centered around marriage, relationship with the Lord, please do well to send us a message on any of these platforms. Yes, we'll be glad to receive them.